no one shows up in the next hour or so, we'll just call it. I don't fucking care. I put the option out there for all you motherfuckers. You want to fucking join? So if you don't join, and it's your own fucking fault, get no one to blame but yourselves.
I'll just sit here sniffing and sneezing and hiding in the corner.
Why are you sneezing?
I had a cold last weekend.
Damn it.
So I haven't cracked open any of those beers that Guy sent me.
Oh yeah, I haven't watched the. Did you do an unboxing video? I can't remember.
Yeah, I did. It's like 20 minutes long.
Oh, that's probably why I haven't watched it yet.
Yeah, grand total was like 21 beers he sent me.
Holy fuck.
Yeah, I know. You ever see the size of a computer case box? Like
yeah.
Computer? Yeah, he sent me one of those. Like literally, it was like his gaming computer. Like
God
the box. He just sort of chalked it full of beer wrapped up in bubble wrap.
Ugh. Geese fucking nuts.
Yeah. I was hoping that somebody else would be here because I'm working on I just did a portrait shoot for a friend of mine who's considering running for St. John City Council.
Oh yeah.
I'm kind of half working on portraits of him, so because he wants one tonight, which is understandable because I gotta get rid of cat hair on his suit. Anyway, he was kind of all worried about. He decided last week to run for city council because it was the deadline, and all of a sudden he's like, shit, I need a portrait done.
Yeah.
Like turned to his one friend that has a camera. Well, nice.
Yeah, but I'm sorry. What were you gonna say?
I was going to say I think it turned out all right.
Awesome. Yeah, so this is running in lieu of BDU because apparently Chad's not running one. Actually, I'm just going to do a double check here and make sure he didn't start one.
You're here. I doubt he's talking to chilling with Chad.
Well, he might want to talk to us instead of Chad because he likes us better.
Chad smells, especially after he had explosive diarrhea on a New Kids in the Block blanket.
Yeah. Well, I'm okay. So I didn't read all those posts because once he started talking about that stuff, it's just like it phased out. From what I gathered, skimming it that he had actually shit on one of his kids' heads.
Gross.
So I'm glad it was just one of the New Kids on the Block's heads instead.
Yeah, I think he meant the blonde New Kid on the Block. Yeah,
that threw me off because it's like both his kids are blonde. So it's like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, blonde. The boy or the
yeah, but I didn't want to delve into it too much because it's like, yeah, Chad, some of your stories are pretty funny, but when you start talking about where you shit all over the place, I don't really need to hear that.
His wife looks like she got upset.
I'd be a little upset too, honestly.
Yeah. I kind of understand that. You just shit on my brand new blanket. I know it was an accident, but you still shit on my brand new blanket. Hey, Ewart.
Hey, Ewart's drinking beer. We can't hear him, but he's drinking beer.
Here's the switch. I'm not drinking beer.
Oh, you fucking bitch.
I'm drinking Sprite.
Oh, my God.
So we get Joe here, muted.
Yeah, well, that's the best way.
Yeah, well, I mean... Oh, he just unmuted himself. He's about to start talking.
Uh-oh. If he can get his mic to work. I don't think Ewart can get his mic to work, so maybe Joe can't do it either. They're both very similar people. I mean, I can barely tell them apart most of the times.
Man. It's a pain in the ass to clean up somebody's pimples. I just had one pimple in my face. I was like, yeah, right. I can see how much detail I can resolve in the camera. It's really not flattering. You look somewhat normal. That's a mole. I'll leave that.
As long as it doesn't have hairs growing out of it.
Oh, it does, and you probably should get that checked, but still.
Well, it's not the hair that's the problem. It's the if it becomes black and bumpy, then.
Yeah, I told him it was like no matter how it looks, it's still gonna be a picture of you.
Mm.
Can you hear me now? Yeah, we can hear you now. Actually.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, I only have a beer when it's Lee hosting, so
There you go.
yeah, I'll be consistent on BDU.
And hey, Jurgen, I'm just like you. I've got some like extremely fucking old red racer. Going back to our sort of running topic on the last couple of BDUs about how I suspected the NSLC was keeping way too old fucking beer on the shelves. Guess when this shit was produced?
What's the over under here? Give me a line to bet on.
Over under 3 months.
Over.
Yep, you're right. It is fucking six months old. September, half a year. This has been sitting on the fucking shelf for half a year.
Yeah. Well, it's like us getting Fat Tug. Same thing. It was 6 months old. Still really damn good though.
Is that that Fat Tug that showed up in the LCB was?
Yep.
His Guy sent me one. I should probably drink that soon.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but it's got a nice base on it, so it stands up. You know, but some IPA, the way they make them, it's just like it's just dirty,
like some
man.
Some IPAs they just get all flat almost, like 10 bitter years with the hops.
Yeah, this is pretty flat now. Like, I mean, it's got a lot of foam, but I mean, there's like no carbonation in the actual drink. And I mean, it's still Red Racer. It still tastes pretty good, but fucking, it almost tastes like orange juice now. Like that's how sort of
orange marmalade.
Not quite orange marmalade, no.
It should.
I mean, it tastes like a Trillium now, Joe.
No, the treehouse maybe. Maybe some treehouse.
Treehouse would work.
Anyways, I'm having if anybody cares.
Nobody does.
Daniel Harper would be very proud of having an ESB.
Get the fuck out of the chat.
Yeah, look, it's Motorcraft Ales, Wanker ESB.
Oh, I want to. Do they have any whales? I'd really like some Motorcraft Ale whales. Just so I can say it like
there
that.
was one I was looking forward to trying, and I go there and they had one left. I'm like, really? It was they just called red lemon sour. Couldn't even describe what kind of sour it was to me. I'm like, oh, that's scary.
How was the jalapeno beer?
Jalapeno beer is good, man.
Yeah.
Actually, quite good.
You don't even like hot stuff.
No, I wouldn't call it hot though. It's not like those Stone spicy beers. It's not like that at all.
It's jalapeno. I mean, that's probably why not.
Yeah, exactly. But it tastes like jalapeno.
Mm-hmm.
So.
You drinking anything, Joe? What are you doing?
Maybe. I'm just drinking water. I'm Hewitt this week.
Oh, Jesus.
I didn't want to put on a spectacular for, the show being on your channel.
Yeah, I suspected as much.
I was going to drink some Busch Ice. It was going to be fantastic. I do still have the Coors Banquet beer in my fridge when we planned to do an examination of that like 6 months ago. So
yeah.
I've never consumed that. That's sitting there, aging properly. It's refrigerated.
It's good, but it's been in there longer than the 2 weeks, so.
It's true.
Almost as old as that Red Racer Lee's drinking.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard that 6 months. How holy fucking balls!
It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, I mean that's ridiculous. I saw I watched Guy's review of the Fat Tug that you mentioned earlier, Ewart, and I don't think he mentioned what the date was on his bottle, but then Winter's Coming replied and said that he saw like 4-week-old bottles, I guess, at his LCBO. So
What?
That's what he said.
What?
What? Okay.
What? Alright, I'm gonna have to go. I picked up some Whiny Bastard yesterday because it was at the. There's only 2 spots in town. It was right next to the swimming pool where my daughter has swim practice. So I popped in and I saw Fat Tug. I just assumed it was the same. So maybe I'll practice again tomorrow. Maybe I'll pop in and see what date's on.
Do you know, or maybe Aaron would know, if that's going to be like a year-round thing in the LCBO, or is that just a special like?
I don't think anybody knows. I think people hope and suspect, but nothing ever really comes to fruition at the LCBO like that. It's like the stuff that keeps showing up, like, oh wow, look at this back again, and then the stuff you're like, oh, it could be year-round, and never shows up again.
The one thing that always comes to fruition at the LCBO: disappointment.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. Anywho,
what else is
yeah,
going on,
we're
fellas?
talking about beer. I'll show you. Like, I just got back from my buddy Heistel Mighty's place, and he was just in Mexico there 2 weeks ago. And he picked up some Mexican beers. Not really anything fancy, but he brought me back like 3 cans of the Mexican stuff. So I got Indio. Where the fuck this is? Victoria.
oh boy.
Yeah, I know. And a real Spanish can of Dos Equis.
That's what I drink if I'm in the Caribbean, and if there's nothing American.
Just Dos Equis?
Yep, Dos Equis, or sometimes Caribe, depending on what island I'm on.
I've had Caribe before. I remember that being pretty good.
Yeah. I was on a cruise last year, and they actually had Sam Adams Rebel IPA on the boat. They had Sierra Nevada in the. I had to go to the casino.
Just the pale ale?
Yeah, just pale ale. But I mean, there's only one place in the whole ship that had it. It was in the casino, which is smoky. So I only went there once to try it. So I was just hunting down Rebel IPAs, and of course I go to one guy who's got like buckets of it, and then the next day I go back and he's setting up shop, and there's no Rebel IPA. I'm like, dude, so I'm hunting all over.
Should have bought a case. We learned that lesson.
Got to, man. Got to seize it.
Motherfuckers.
Hey, man. I just can't be mad. Can't be hating.
Who's mad? Yeah, just sharing it. Everyone's happy.
Yeah, well,
That's a shelf turd here for about 2 hours or so. I did. Why didn't you mention? And by why didn't you mention it? I don't think you actually were aware. But Dragon's Milk, another what you call variation came out. Vanilla chai.
Yeah.
Yeah, you wanted to say anything?
Why? Who cares?
Because I'd like to try it, so I bought a 4-pack of it when I was in Cleveland.
Oh my god, you bought a 4-pack? You didn't like leave 3 behind for other people? You weren't like sharing the wealth?
Dude, it was totally readily available. I think people are onto the variation nonsense.
Yeah. At the fest, they actually had like tons of different Dragon Milk variations. A bacon one, peanut. Do they have a peanut butter one? They may have. I don't know. A whole bunch of different weird stuff with Dragon's Milk. I didn't get in line for any of that, so I didn't have any. I got in line for things I already had before. That's so stupid.
I looked at your check-ins. I'm like, at least half of these check-ins Ewart has consumed before. At least they're really fucking awesome beers.
Yeah, I wasn't getting in line for just anything. But it's like just one of those things you float around, and after a while you just sort of just get caught up. You're not even paying attention or looking at your list what you want to try, and it's like, oh, here, Mom, on French toast. I'll get in line for that again, which was worth it.
Yeah, that's an awesome beer. Mm-hmm. They released it in bottles this year, right? They had a release for it.
Yeah, on Black Friday, and we had every intention of going up after Hipster for that, and we were just in line, and I was like maybe half hour, 45 minutes after it opened, they were sold out. So they didn't have very much because the pictures they were showing it wasn't a big line, but it was enough, I guess. They've had it on tap too in growler fills, so gotta pay attention when they do that again.
Yeah.
Anyways, Fest was a good time, Joe. You liked it?
No, I'm sure I would have. Might come up for the summer one.
Yeah, cool.
If everyone else does, that is. I know Julian and Aaron are talking about it, so we will see. Yeah. We will see.
I think it'll be an eye-opener. I mean, the Detroit one was good, but the summer one is something else.
Yeah, the one thing I do like about the Detroit one is it's not crazy busy. That always helps, too.
Yeah. Well, I mean, none of these fests, the spaces they hold them in, none of them are really busy. Like, they're big enough spaces where you're not crowded, and there are going to be some breweries you're going to have lineups for, but the lineups are rarely ever anything to worry about. And if you don't feel like waiting in line, there's tons and tons of spots you can just walk up to and just try whatever. So this is always really cool.
Yeah.
Maybe you have a conversation with somebody who makes it, but nobody got time for that. So. And of course, the evening festivities afterwards in Grand Rapids were a whole other adventure. A couple guys riled up and just trying to find something to eat anywhere was impossible. So, but we had fun trying.
Where's the summer one at? That's a little bit to the north.
Ypsilanti, so that's near Ann Arbor.
Oh, really? So it's actually to the southwest. So.
Yeah. We don't ever stay overnight for that one. We just drive back after, or somebody drives us.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, I don't think you're driving back, son.
No.
Shit's fucked up.
No. We've hired. If we had enough people before, we've hired vans. Like a little service before, or we've had somebody volunteer to drive us. Yeah, we always come home after.
Yeah, York's going to get drunk again. It's going to be like back in the day when he was like 45. He's going to be reliving those years.
Baby, old man Murray, he remembers though that was when he was in his prime, baby.
Yeah. When I was in my prime, I didn't even know what pound this was.
Baby. Yeah, maybe if we were to do that, I would actually stay around Ann Arbor, hit up Jolly Pumpkin and places like that. If you were to come over.
Yeah.
Or around there, just outside there.
Yeah, Jolly Pumpkin's nice. I wouldn't say it's worth the wait, but there's other places around that
yeah,
area.
I'd like to try other shit because we always go to Detroit and always hit the same spots, which isn't bad, but
the same spots we hit. Oh, we hit Coonan and
Scrams and just it's the go to shitty fucking what's the fucking
complaining about Scrams.
Well, no, I never complain. I'm just saying, but it's when you go, it's the same places. 3 times, 4 times. I mean, if the actual fest is in Ann Arbor, there's a lot of breweries in fucking Michigan. Period. It's not like
exactly.
You gotta pigeonhole yourself to one area, and never again be nectar suck a dick. Yep.
Hey man, some of their barrel aged stuff is really really good.
That's cool. So, we didn't try any of that.
I know.
They had bottles of a couple of it, like the one that you tried. There's like a big ass blue bottle, it was like $18. And after I fucking went through their the flights of whatever we got, I was like, yeah, no. Sorry.
Yeah, Sleeping Giant I had recently was really good. And Dragons Are Real is probably their best for sure.
I would like to try it out Dragon Mead too. That would have been an interesting stop.
Yeah, I've never been there. I mean, I imagine it's a lot like Coonan, anyways.
Coonahans? Coonahans?
Cooleyhan Lukes.
Rolonahans?
Anyways, let's talk about beer that other people in this chat care about, which is East Coast beers. Anything from Yardbird? Anything new?
How interested, Nick and Lee, are you guys about the Molson that 1908 Pale or whatever Chad reviewed?
I'm actually pretty interested in trying that.
I didn't see the review.
Nick, what the fuck?
Did he actually review it?
I don't know. I just know I saw it on Twitter, on my Twitter feed, and it was like beers of the week, best beers of the week. That, and I forgot the other one. I was like, what the fuck?
Oh. Well, I'm interested in trying it. It sounds like it might be halfway as decent from what I've seen. So yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like a typical.
I mean, Molson can make great beer when they want to. I mean, they're just like Budweiser. They have the facilities to make great beer if they want to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but they're more interested in making money, and not always, those don't always go hand in hand.
Sure.
But you know what? I agree with you, Lee. They can definitely have the capacity to make good beer, and the know-how.
But this is really good for like craft beer enthusiasts, though, because we're at the point now where companies like Molson and shit are always catering to us now, trying to get us back to buying their products and trying to get previous customers back who are sort of falling into craft beer. So if they start making good and interesting products, even if it's a short-term thing, fucking ride the wave while it's going, right? Just fucking enjoy it.
I think one market that I think they can actually kind of dig their heels in quite a bit and like establish themselves is like the budget craft beer.
Yeah.
There's still a huge market for people who don't want to spend. I can't I don't want to talk about prices because Canada's so much different than the States, but like here, a decently expensive 6-pack of a good craft beer is $10 to $12. You can convert that to you guys up there being in the mid to high teens, whatever. But there is a market there where you could take $2-3 off those 6-packs, $10 to $15 off the cases, make a well-made craft beer. Maybe it's not as great as these fucking all these crazy craft beers coming out. And I think there's a lot of people out there that would like that and kind of need that.
Well, if a big company could make something as decent as, say, Moosehead fucking Boundary Ale, I mean, that stuff's decent enough. I mean, it's crafty, and it's a fairly good price. Why not? There's really no excuse. I mean, it's way better than the fucking budget shit Moosehead is actually doing, which is that fucking I don't even know what the fuck they call it, but it's like they got the light and the regular version of Moose whatever. That's like the budget fucking beer now. It's just fucking. It's almost like they decided to make Selection Lager and Selection Light again or something like that, and just repackage it as something else.
Yeah, I'd be curious to see more. Some of the big guys brew some different craft beer. I mean, like you guys had like Rickards come out with the red IPA, which most people would deem passable to actually above average.
It's above passable. It's a good beer.
It's a good beer. Good beer.
It is.
So I mean, if they can do stuff like that, then hey, I'm sure pretty much anybody could do it of the big guys, and they should.
Yeah.
Let people pick and choose what they want to drink. Or we could all just drink Treehouse stuff, right?
If we're so lucky.
You want to wait in line for like 3 hours to get a couple cans?
No, never.
How about like 2 hours for like maybe 4 cans?
No.
No? You sure?
Yeah, no.
How about we go to Trillium? It's only like a 45-minute wait.
No. No.
You want to go to Hoof? You want to go to Hoof? Hoof-hearted? I mean Hoof-hearted?
My travels for work occasionally take me through that part of Ohio.
They should probably through. On a Sunday. It's the only day they do releases.
Oh, really? That's not good.
No, so you better get it on Sunday, even though you're not going to. Yeah. Johnny hooked me up with some more stuff. They did a Citra one. They did a black IPA. A couple other things. I got them in the fridge. I got to get to them soon. But, dude, after trying Treehouse and Trillium stuff, it's all, like, very, I don't know, similar.
Close. Yeah.
Yeah,
there's nothing so earth-shattering as like, oh, I gotta have this now.
No, there's like nuances between all of them. Like I think the mouth feels and like the creaminess from like the Treehouse and the Trillium beers is kind of bonkers. Like that makes the beer more so than the actual flavors, which seems crazy to me. But I think that's why people go so insane about like the Treehouse and Trillium. Yes, it's like orange juice and like fruit juice and blah blah blah, but it's all about the body and mouthfeel for those beers.
But you know what? It's just the latest fad in what craft beer like. At one point, like back in the day, people crap on Dogfish. Now, like, here I go. But, big malty.
Fuck. You mean Stone? They don't crap on Stone anymore, do they?
It's like a big malty IPA. They haven't changed the recipe much on the 60-minute, 90-minute, all that stuff. That's what people first started like, wow, it was eye-opener. And then it was the West Coast stuff. And then it was all, it's trending. That's all it is. There's not, people still like that stuff if they're doing a blind taste test. If you said this 60-minute IPA, from Dogfish, you said let's do a blind taste test, and I told you it's Treehouse, you'd probably, maybe not believe me, but you still think it's pretty damn good.
Bro.
Yeah, I know.
Settle shit down.
I'm saying for the average.
The average Joe. I see what you're doing, picking it up. No, I mean, I'm curious if it's going to come full circle, where it comes back to, and it kind of is for a lot of people. I think you see a lot of people who drank craft beer even longer than the majority of us, talking going back 20 years, say, and they talk about like when late 80s, early 90s, all these the Dogfish heads coming out and all these fucking places, and all the different styles, and they went through the whole thing where they basically ran the gauntlet of, here imperial stouts and going through all the styles, and they come back to, it's a beverage, you drink it, I want something that I enjoy.
Right.
I wonder if that's gonna actually happen as a whole in the whole industry, or if it's still gonna be kind of divided. Because I think we can all appreciate just a well-made beer that's and it's just stupid to say drinkable, but like just a well-made, balanced beer. That there should always be a place for that.
Right.
And it seems like with all these fucking places open up, it's like nobody wants that anymore. But it's probably a small minority, in all honesty.
That's true.
It's just the hype train gets going on, so everybody wants to at least try it.
And a lot of stuff's regional too, right? Because you can find little nuggets here and there. Like you take something like and people talk about Yellow Rose, for example, out of Texas, which is like an awesome beer by I can't remember the name of the brewery, Lone Pint, something like that.
Yeah.
And people trade it away. People want it, but it's just one, so it's not a destination. It's just it's awesome. Let's try it. Whereas Boston's like a whole area of bros who just talk the crap out of everything. And there's lots of good stuff from a few places that are relatively close. So it just gets bigger and bigger, and it's just, I don't know, it's frustrating.
No, it's not. It's frustrating. It's frustrating. It's not frustrating for people who don't care about it.
That's true. I try not to care. It's just like, it'd be nice to be able to get it, but it's just what these guys want and trade is not equitable.
That's like, I have a lot of beer in my cellar. I can get stuff that people can't get. I can go up to Bellwoods every month and bring back stuff that people won't go up there for and are on the East Coast and can't get. And I just there's just no reason to. There's fucking thousands upon thousands. Sorry, you got to listen to this. I know you live in beer wasteland. There's thousands and thousands of beers readily available to me and a lot of other people living in the U.S. or on the border of the U.S. that it's insane to me that people go to the lengths they do to make these trades. It's crazy to me.
Well, how's the trading going for you guys? Do you feel like it's slowing down for you in the last year or so, or?
I don't make a concerted effort anymore because I don't want to say I don't care because that comes off as all right, whatever. But I don't like. There's so much good beer. Like just taking trips and just going places and just enjoying myself. Beer falls in my lap. Just because of that, so I don't feel like I have to make trades with anybody really anymore. And the people that I would trade with over the past couple of years, I just pick stuff up for them now and kind of just hold it for them. When I meet up with them, I give it to them, things like that. So for me, I really, the last true beer trade that I actually like set out to do was probably the DJ one, that crazy 42 beer one.
Yeah.
They might have like I blew my load right there. That was just like I'm done.
Yeah, the fact that package actually made it through the mail is kind of a minor miracle in
I had to
itself.
send 3 boxes. Because there were so many bombers and shit. I was like, I'm not sending like a 75-pound fucking package. It's just not happening.
And here's my question: has DJ gone through all that yet?
No way. No way. Like I think between him and I, like I probably have drank a third of the stuff he sent me, most of the hop forward stuff he sent me, and he did the exact same. He hasn't even posted all of the reviews of the video or of the beers that he actually drank. I think he's only posted like 3 or 4 of them, so he's got a backlog that's probably insane. So
yeah.
Well, how about you though? You're worth the trade, and you still do some, I know, but not as much.
Yeah, I don't seek out to do anything, to trade for anything in particular with anybody I don't already know. I've been involved with a couple of, like so Chad had a Secret Santa. I was also involved in a Secret Santa, like fun stuff, where
you get 4-month-old bulk beers.
Yeah. Yeah, but I did one with on via Talk Beer, and that was a lot of fun. And I got a nice box, and there was a guy I traded with early last year. And got some Trillium stuff. So I have like a couple people that I've dealt with before that I'm like, hey, can I get some more of that? And he's like, yeah, just give me some more of this. It's easy. It's not there's no pressure. There's nobody trying to win trades. Other than that, I mean, that's within the U.S. and within Canada. I think there's just a couple guys in Montreal that I occasionally deal with, but that's it really.
I mean, like every time I go to Cleveland, I usually hang out with Johnny G. He always has Hoof-Hearted stuff, and he always puts like Jackie O's barrel stuff. He doesn't even tell me he has it. Like he actually lies to my face. The first 2 times I passed through and hung out with him, and we exchanged some beers, I gave him way more than he gave me. Like I gave him like the first time like 20 beers, and like the second time like 18. So now he actively lies to me on purpose. This time I was coming down, I'm like, oh, I'm coming down for the Nut Smash release, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, oh, that's cool. I was like, I got like 10 beers. He's like, oh, that's cool. I got 12. Show up, he had 22 beers for me. I'm like, what the fuck is this? So just the generosity of people, too, it's kind of overwhelming at times because you get a lot more beers than you anticipate, too. But, like, going down Cleveland, I meet up with him, and I come up to Canada, Greg, we cross paths, and Aaron and Julian, and there's no really reason to seek out new people or to actively be like, hey, I want whatever, because there's always new shit coming through the pipeline that I trade with regularly, so I don't see it be anything that I really care about anymore.
Yeah. Now it just becomes a dubious task of trying to get through it all. So that's why some of it slows down. It's like, it's got to be done at a healthy level, and after a while, it's too much, and you go through waves, and then like you run out of hoppy stuff. I need some hoppy stuff, and but it's getting to the point now. I'd rather have a lot of shares and have people come over to consuming it. So.
And that's basically what I was gonna say right then too. That's one thing over like the last 6 months or so that I've been trying to do actively is more bottle shares, sharing a lot of stuff with people, and you get introduced to stuff you don't get to try, but then you also get rid of, and I don't mean get rid of in a negative way where it's like, oh, this beer needs to fucking I'm better than going down the drain. No, I want to share it. There's bottles I've have that are a year or two old that it's like, I don't want to drink that entire 750 to myself because I feel like it's a beer that should be shared with other people. And I've been finding myself, doing bottle shares like every couple weeks now, and just trying to just get rid of my stuff, but introduce people to other stuff as well. So
yeah, I kind of envision Joe as sort of the Johnny Appleseed of beer too. He's just running around sprinkling beer wherever he goes across the country.
I'm planting my seed all over the place.
That's right,
inside of people. I mean,
all over people's neck, faces, and chest.
Yeah. All over their neck beards.
Does that Imperial Stout taste like a Goza?
With some frosting on the neck beard.
Does it have a hint of salinity to it? A little bit of salinity to it.
Is that a Goza?
Was it more like Imperial Stout, or was it more like a oyster stout?
Does that have a nice creamy mouthfeel? I bet it does now.
A little bit briny.
Yeah, it's not an oyster stout. Let's get things straight here. There's no clams involved in this. It's all strictly man on man.
Speaking of oyster stouts, I think the funniest thing that I've seen lately in a beer mail is that Chad got a beer mail from somebody out west, and he got an oyster stout, but it wasn't an oyster stout. It was a regular old stout that said this would pair really well with oysters. And I'm like, what the fuck is that? That's the laziest thing I've ever heard about.
Oh shit. Well, our stout, we happen to think it pairs really well with fucking fish and chips. So this is obviously a fish and chip stout.
Hey, here's our Goza. Oh, I mean, this is our Berliner Weiss. Just put some table salt into it.
Oh no!
Like, are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah.
This would go. Bose did that?
Yeah, I remember that shit. I remember that was so bad. Aaron said that beer was so bad. I actually just gave it away. I didn't even drink the fucking thing. I was just like, it's so terrible. I don't even want to try it.
Was that this
beer with a fucking salt lick?
Was that Boom Goes the Dynamite that came with like the packet of rock salt?
Was that the one you're talking? Okay, yeah, that would have been the first one. But then they released another Goza this past year that was apparently horrible. I don't think it had a packet of rock salt. I think it was just beer.
That's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, sadly, Bose. I'm buying less and less of it, but everything I have is getting worse and worse.
Yeah, dude. It's not great anymore. I don't know. They made so many good beers too. Like even just like the Burnt Rock Vanilla Porter. I'm just thinking of that, and like the Winter Brewed I really enjoyed, and now everything else they throw in with those beers is shit basically at this point.
They're definitely doing a bit of sort of riding on the reputation kind of thing. Like, oh, we got this great reputation that we initially created for ourselves, and now we're going to make some substandard shitty beers and just hope no one notices, apparently.
I remember hearing a lot about like beers that I had back in like 2012 or something of like first or second run Bose products, and remember them being really good, and hearing stories about how they've dropped off since. So I mean, from what I gather is that it almost seems like them as a whole, they're dropping back. Like they're not as good as they used to be.
I think they're getting a little too big. I think that's the biggest problem with them. I mean, they're trying too many things. I mean, as much as it's great that a brewery is going to expand and try stuff. I mean, I think they're maybe trying a little too much. And instead of focusing on some of their core brands and some of their core seasonals, and I mean, doing that as great as the publicity was for the fucking Tom Green beer. I mean, that stout wasn't great. It was right.
It was just average, and if anyone knows average, it's me. I would say that they totally got bought up by a macro company, right? Isn't that how that goes? You get bought up by a macro company, your good beer turns into average beer at best. So somebody clearly bought them. They just didn't tell anyone yet. That's what everyone would lead you to believe anyway.
Yeah, that's what it feels like. But I mean, I don't know. I really haven't had any new Bose in the last couple of years, so I can't really comment on like their latest stuff. But I mean,
well, I don't want to speak for Greg. But I will, just because he's fucking Greg. No one really cares. But the thing is he signed up for that Greener's Future when their Phase 2, I think it was. Because I remember Dale was in Phase 1. I think he was one of the few YouTubers that actually was in the whole Greener Future thing. Greg signed up for Phase 2, and I think he got all 12 beers because you're allowed one a month. I think it's 12 a year.
Yeah.
And basically, and listen, I don't condone going off of Greg's palate at any point in time in your life. Like, don't ever look at his Untappd check-ins. Don't listen to his advice, because his palate is on a whole nother level of stupidity. But I don't think he liked more than like 2 or 3 of the 12 beers. And when I mean liked, I mean like giving it like the vast majority getting like 3 out of 5s. Like he's saying like this does. They're just. It was almost like a money grab for them. I think they charged $125, so $125. You got 12 650s and 2 glasses. Not a bad deal. You're figuring what, $10? $10 a beer. That's not terrible. Plus a couple glasses, but it was always like some weird combination. Like here's our Schwarz beer aged for 8 months in bourbon barrels, and then we blended it with a 12-month IPA aged in wine barrels with our fucking Weizenbach that was aged for 14 months in rum barrels, and we just blended it all together. It's like, did you even taste it? Like, you just blended it like a third, and then just fucking bottled it? Like, you look at the reviews like on Untappd and like on Beer Advocate, they're not bad, but like they're typically in like the 3-5 range or less, and it's like those are bad.
It feels like I mean, Bose, like they started off and they had some pretty solid shit and they were doing some really interesting stuff, and it feels like their popularity maybe they kind of ran wild on them, where they're maybe trying stuff they shouldn't be trying, and they just sort of maybe got a little fucking unhinged with some of their ideas for shit. And also the fact that they've gotten so popular and they've gotten so big for a brewery their size that now they actually have obligations they have to fill all the time, they have to start making new beers, or they're afraid they won't keep their fucking customer base anymore, and that can only lead to, I mean, you can only get so big with a brewery that size, and it's going to lead to fucking diluting the product overall, I think. It's a sad reality of a craft brewery maybe just punching a little too high in their weight class, I guess, essentially.
I totally agree. I think another thing that would you guys agree that Bose was probably the most innovative Canadian brewery over the past 5 years? Like they if you think of some of the stuff
experimental, yes.
Well,
innovative.
Well, in bringing stuff into, you gotta remember they're like one of the first that had a brew it in Canada. They were the first to bring back. I don't know if there was a Goza years, fucking long ago, but they brought the Goza back. They did a lot of cool things that people weren't doing 5 years ago. I remember seeing beer mails, between, Chad Lee, Nick, Guy, Don, where, the fucking Winter Brewed, for example, when the Winter Brewed was the coffee Doppelbock. Like, you didn't see that. Like, people forget now, like, things like that wasn't the norm. You look at it now, like bourbon barrel aged everything you can get. People, peanut butter chocolate stout, man, another one. 5 years ago, that shit did not exist. And if it did, people were going nuts to try it. So I think Bose was one of those breweries in Canada that was like, hey, here's all this cool shit that nobody has had before, or that a Canadian brewery hasn't brewed in, so long. It fucking could have been 50 years, whatever. Here are some cool things. Everyone goes nuts about it. They get hyped, and then, they also came out like the vanilla porter, the burnt rock. Even the Kolsch, fucking Lug Shred is a great Kolsch. It's a fucking Kolsch, but it's a great Kolsch. They did a lot of cool things, well-made beer, but now it's like they're kind of resting on their laurels, or they're trying to go overboard, and a lot of the shit they're making is just basically a mess.
Yeah, I don't think necessarily like they're the most innovative, but they were definitely one of the more innovative and interesting ones, like the come out of Ontario in that sort of time period. And I think the biggest draw for me, and the most interesting thing about them for me, was the fact that they were an all-organic brewery that was actually making good beer. Because up until then, everything that said organic on it that I had tasted was absolute fucking hot garbage. And then you taste like a world-class beer from Bose that was an all-organic beer that didn't suck. It was like, wow, okay, I like this brewery. I like this brewery a lot.
And that's not even Canadian only. I remember the first time a couple years ago that I sent DJ. He said the same thing about organic beers when I sent him a couple Bose things. He said the exact same thing. He's like, every beer I've ever tried that said organic anything on it's been fucking horrific. And that, so, I feel like they're like a very, like you said, you were experimental, but innovative in a lot of ways too. And it's a shame that it seems like their quality is dwindling.
Well, the rest of the market has caught up with them now, and they're not so innovative anymore. And no, they just kind of feel like old hat. And since the quality of a lot of their stuff has sort of dropped down to a level or two, it's like they don't stand out anymore.
No, it's tough to stand out anymore. To just be quite honest, I mean, like I said, if you just take it back 5 years, the sheer amount of experimental beers that were being released was very low. You could, go through fucking 50 styles that just sound cool, and now like every single city in the U.S. there's at least one local place that brews that beer. And I go back to like the peanut butter stouts or peanut butter porters. Like, I remember when Sweet Baby Jesus came out from Duke Club. That was like one of the first beers that actually got some distribution. That was a peanut butter beer. And people are like, oh my God, peanut butter in a beer. Oh, let's go nuts. Now there's like 3 places locally that brew a peanut butter beer here in Buffalo. And Buffalo's not a hotbed for fucking craft beer as far as local breweries go. Sure, distribution and stuff, we get a lot of cool stuff. Now everyone makes one now. And people do fail to remember that 4 or 5 years ago there was not a lot of cool beers out there. Really, it was hard to find. Barrel aged beers is hard. Just find variations on styles that people would deem boring. Like, you could find Doppelbocks here and there, but now people are doing all kinds of crazy shit with Doppelbocks. It's insane. Gozas. How many Gozas were in North America 5 years ago? Probably 0, maybe a couple, if you're lucky. And now it seems like every fucking brewery tries to make one.
You see, now it gets to the point where a brewery like Bose should not feel like they have to be innovative every fucking year and like try to outdo everyone. They should really focus on just keeping their beers like consistently really great. I mean,
Do they have any year-round beers though? Like, do they have any consistent year-round like beers other than like Lug Tread? Does anybody know?
Lug Tread's pretty much it, isn't it? I think maybe their IPA, the Screaming Beaver or whatever the fuck it is.
Screaming Eagle? There's a Screaming Beaver.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I don't keep up with them enough to know what their year-round shit is. But they don't really have much year-round, do they? Like it's pretty much seasonals and specials every month or something with them.
Yeah, it's basically seasonals and like rotating specialty beers that they bring back.
But even then, focus on making those really great, and you'll keep your fucking consumer base. Because I mean, at the end of the day, really great beer is really fucking great beer. I mean, they've built their fucking consumer base, and they're always getting new people. They don't need to be flashy and innovative anymore. Like, I mean, sure, make up new stuff every once in a while, but they're an excellent brewery. They brew excellent beer. They don't need to dumb themselves down. They don't need to fucking whore themselves out. I think they could keep going really great, just like concentrating on making the really great beers that they've made in the past, keeping them consistently great.
Yeah.
I mean, if they get to the point where they're fucking Big Rock, that will be a sad fucking day.
Listen, I hear Brad's gonna fight you right now. That's what I hear.
Hey
He's
guys,
probably flexing somewhere in a medium shirt.
I don't recall seeing any of his reviews on my fucking stream in the longest while. Has he stopped doing them or?
I talked to him the other day. I think he's been really busy. He actually sent me a text and was like, "Hey, we haven't done a duo review in a while, and I think we might try to get one done here in the next couple of weeks." So, but yeah, I haven't seen him post much. I think like one of the last ones he posted was he did one with his brother, a real good beer. I can't remember. I want to say it was maybe Parabola or something like that. Maybe Abyss. Maybe it was Abyss from the shoots. I don't know.
See if I can make out. No, we have no comments. All right, that's great.
That's great.
That's great.
Everyone's probably on fucking Rhino's channel. It's like, where the fuck's BDU, you fucking asshole?
Nobody ever says that.
Exactly.
You're not fucking a Rhino. You're not as white as he is.
All right, my back is killing me. I'm old, so I'm gonna lay down.
Old man.
I'm gonna lay down. What a fucking! Oh my god, that's terrible.
I was on the exercise bike today. I was doing the mall walker version of getting on the spin bike. So
as you always say, you were honey.
Muffin is what I said.
Oh, muffin. Oh,
exactly.
Is that it? Is that it?
Princess Cupcake needs to lay down.
Should somebody take a little bit of ibuprofen? Is that what
I don't do. That's the thing. That's my problem. I don't do drugs.
Okay, Mr. Straight Edge, except for getting shit-faced.
No problem with alcohol.
No, not at all.
Guys,
I
just
can only
let
handle
me
one
drink.
vice at a time.
Fucking see him drunk over here. Fucking
give me that turn bottle at 20% Black Tuesday, but I could not take a single leave.
What?
What? Hey, Steve, is that Steve? Oh, I mean, you're.
Hey, I'm glad you're enjoying your aged Red Racer. That's the best way to enjoy it.
Yeah, is there a trade going on here now? What's this?
All right, guys. I'll talk to you later.
All right, have a good night, sir.
I got a 4-month-old bottle of Red Racer. You want it?
Yep.
Okay.
The genuine can-aged Red Racer.
That's terrible. A bunch of knuckleheads.
Aged IPAs. I think this Toasted Oak IPA from Innocent Gun is like a year old.
Bet it tastes like sweaty ball sacks.
Yeah, a little bit. Maybe a little bit of vanilla ball sack.
What's the alcohol in that, fucker?
5.6.
Oh wow, that's fucking super low for Innocent Gun.
Yeah. Yeah, you're usually a lot stronger than that. I apologize if I'm not really that exciting right now. I'm just trying to process some images that I've took tonight. I told you about that. So.
Yeah, join the club. No one's exciting here. That's all there is to it.
Nobody wants to fucking talk to you anyway.
What the fuck?
Barf.
Man, Nick's just sitting here throwing fucking shade on everybody. It's just...
It's going to be less exciting when I leave in about 5 minutes. Nick's going to have to step up his game.
Well, no, I mean, I'm probably going to close it down here in a few minutes if no one has anything. I just opened it up just in case anyone wanted to fucking join in and get their fucking Wednesday fucking fixed. But, you know.
Yeah, we did an offline one for like, what was it, like an hour last night, and it was all right. Yeah, it wasn't too bad. I mean, I prefer the offline ones just as much as the online ones, especially if you don't have many viewers or people commenting, just because, you know, we can let loose a little bit. You get my drift, baby.
Yeah.
Like Guy talked about penis, Greg was misogynist, and racism came up quite a few times.
Yeah.
You know, just like a normal.
I don't mind any of that on my channel personally. But, you know.
We're still loving it. Fuck.
Yeah, 'cause I don't have a fucking reputation. What the fuck do I care? I'm just a nobody on fucking YouTube. It doesn't matter.
Reputation.
Anyway. Goes for mostly everybody on YouTube, like except for like the 1 percentile that like has 3 billion subscribers and they might.
Yeah.
Everyone else, no one gives a shit about.
Yeah, like we totally joined up with YouTube to make money.
Oh, totally. I mean, you know, I'm so scared right now because I feel like my channel's going to get flagged. I'm going to get voted down. I'm going to lose all kinds of money right now. It's terrible.
Conflict with beer fondling with Dave.
Beer fondling with Dave, yeah. He's gonna rant and rave about me, guys.
Apparently, leading the fans.
Apparently, it's coming.
Down.
Yep.
Like a little bitch.
He's gonna get Red Rooster to shove his cock into my channel.
First rooster cock.
Yeah. That should be fun. That should be really interesting. I look forward to seeing what his rant and rave about me is gonna be like, so I can just fucking tear him a new fucking asshole.
You're gonna make him look so cheap. It's gonna be a tear a new Mick asshole.
Mm-hmm. I mean, you know, I'm usually fairly modest about my abilities, but Dave is a fucking childish, base level piece of shit. So I'm gonna run circles around his ass and make him look like a fool, and then I'm gonna not talk about him anymore. And then he can sit there and sputter and spit and have a fucking stroke or another heart attack or whatever the fuck he's had in the last couple of years. And
I'm a new asshole from the McValue meal, the extra value meal. Would you like fries with that, bitch?
And it'll be amusing. I mean, I prodded him and I got a response, so already that was incredibly amusing for me because usually he just bitches out and doesn't respond to anything. So hey, I've already successfully trolled him once, and
now you should be proud.
Well, I'm not proud. I mean, usually it's not that hard, but it's not anything big. I mean, he's just a fucking bully. I mean,
yeah.
I mean, it feels weird that I'm almost kind of defending Jay and Maria Devon, but I'm not really. It's just like, wow, dude, I mean, you're publicly attacking these two idiots, like, to that degree. I mean, I make my jokes about them and stuff, but I don't fucking flip out at these two harmless fucking schlubs.
Yeah.
But, I mean, he just aggressively attacks him, and then he makes, like, 2 videos now in the last couple of weeks about how I don't care about negative comments and haters. Like, if you really don't care, you wouldn't have made the videos in the first place.
Yeah.
So,
exactly.
And I just called him out on his bullshit, and he didn't like it, and now he's going to make a video about me. So, we'll see where that goes.
He always seemed like a sleaze anyway. Especially those couple times he came on to BDU. He just seemed like a I'm really strange about this
Oh,
guy.
he's a fucking jerk. I mean, he's walking around town giving fucking cheap booze to bums on the street. I mean, the guy's a fucking asshole. He was doing it for fucking amusement and views, and
Like videoing insulting homeless people on the street, wasn't he?
pretty much. I mean, the fact that he's using them as like a source of amusement for his fucking videos to get views and stuff like that, like that's fucking bullshit. Like that's scumbaggery right there. I mean.
Speaks to the state of affairs like today. Like it's people actually get like watch that shit and actually get entertained by it.
Yeah, I mean he's got a fan base of fucking dickheads and assholes who
Trump
think all
supporters.
well, whatever, you know, Trump supporters or whatever. But yeah, he's just another fucking regressive piece of shit, and I called him on it, and he doesn't like it. Now he's going to make a video about me, and I'm going to respond and leave it at that. And I'll let him, if he gets offended or put out and he wants to keep attacking me, he's going to find nothing but dead air responding to him. But, you know, whatever. It'll be amusing.
Not fucking worth it, really.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'll admit that I poked at him because it was amusing to me. I mean, I'm not above trolling people and getting a little bit of amusement out of attacking people. I mean, I think Dave's a worthy target to attack, and I got a response out of him, and now I can wait until he makes his video about me, and then I can respond to that and fucking chop him down, and I'll feel like I accomplished at least something that amuses me. I don't know if it'll amuse anyone else, but it'll amuse me, and there you go. And then Dave can go on being a crazy old fucking asshole, and I'll go on being the same asshole I've always been. So there you go. And oh no, maybe a couple extra assholes will downvote some of my videos and cut into my income, my YouTube income, and hurt me deeply. And god damn it, I won't make the millions I usually make on YouTube every year.
Your plan for retirement, freedom.
30. Yeah, Freedom 35 or whatever. My fucking retirement plan will just be gone. It'd be a fucking disaster.
Damn Corey and Trevor.
Yeah, I don't like bullies. So, and that's all he is a fucking bully. I don't even care if his targets are people I don't particularly like. It's just like, dude, you're an asshole.
Broken hearts for assholes.
Not only that, he's a fucking newbie to BeerTube, and if he thinks he's gonna fucking waltz in on the king's fucking court and fucking
You're gonna have him executed like a play.
I just feel like Lee's gonna cut like a 10-minute wrestling promo on him. That's what I feel is gonna happen.
Totally. At the end of it, take your microphone and do this.
Okay, you already blew my idea because I was planning on doing something like that. Now I can't do it anymore. You ruined it, Nick.
Fuck. Ow. That hurt.
Right. I don't want to interrupt the epic rant that just happened because I'm usually a huge fan of him, but I am going to take off. Thank you for hosting this little shindig.
Yeah.
It was a nice hour of relaxation and shitting on people and breweries. And you were saying that he's straight edge even though he drinks all the time.
Yeah, but thanks guys for joining, and I'll turn it off here in a sec. And I mean, just wanted to give people the opportunity to join in and get their fucking beer talk fix if they wanted it. But apparently, only a handful of people were interested, so I guess we're done. So, good night, gentlemen, and we'll talk to you later.
Take it easy.